he's in it, he's in your face. Yeah. So it will be very. Then if you're occupied by Mandzukic, then you have other players around that can cause damage. So it's going to be a very, very interesting and tricky game. But hopefully we can navigate it successfully.
Okay, a broader picture now. A broader picture before we travel to England. Talk about it. A broader picture of all the 5 African teams. On whose shoulder does the hopes of the continent rest? Does it rest more on Nigeria? Is Egypt? Of the 5, who do you think?
Well, they did. Only Nigeria. The other 4 teams besides Nigeria haven't been to the World Cup in like 15 years. So Nigeria, they're doing the only consistent team. So it's sort of it's like a new experience for this for most of these teams because most of the players that will be going to the World Cup haven't been there before. So it's. I don't know if you pin your hopes on any African team except Nigeria. Maybe because if you look at the qualifiers, you might now say Morocco, but unfortunately for them, they are the group with Portugal and Spain. So
we know they're not going anywhere.
It's going to be hard for them. Then you look at Tunisia. Maybe Tunisia in the group with England and Panama, if I remember correctly, and Belgium. So these things. It's looking, maybe Senegal are in with a shout because they have very talented players. They have a good squad. They have balance in the team and everything. And the coach is somebody that has experienced the World Cup. He was the captain of the team at 2002 World Cup. So maybe, but, I'm not just going to point at one team and say I'm not fully confident on, yeah, it's give or take. It's knockout football. First games, after the first round of games, just first games, then we can have an idea of what we can expect.
Okay, so what's going to happen in that one? But Nigeria all the way anyway.
Okay, yes, we should win the World Cup.
We should win. Okay.
Where do we go, Cecilia?
We go to what happened at Etihad. It would have been wonderful if West Ham had been able to beat Manchester City. But if you check, some of these teams that have not really been playing so well this season tends to beat the bigger teams. Crystal Palace, Chelsea was their first win, right, of the season. Watford, we know what they did to us now. Okay, apologies, Ayemi. But then Manchester City and, of course, West Ham, that game, the way it ended, 13 straight wins. The only draw they've had this season was against Everton. That's why I talked about teams that are not really doing so well have a way of, taking it on the bigger teams. Well, West Ham couldn't do it. They didn't just have that extra edge to do, what Everton did earlier in the season, or rather what Crystal Palace did to Chelsea. But the winning streak continues. David Silva, that guy is... It
continues. And the good thing about this Manchester City team is the fact that they are able to get victory from the jaws of draws. A lot of, I think yesterday, in the last 4 games, yesterday was the earliest winner they had. They've got in a while, they always wait till, but that's the thing. It's a hallmark of great teams that can actually, get stuck in there, keep badgering you, believing that some way, somehow it will happen. And the thing is, this thing can become addictive. Once this team gets into the rhythm and they believe that whatever happens, I don't know how we're going to do it, but we're going to get a goal. We're going to keep pushing. It becomes very scary. Let's see how the Manchester Derby happens next week, because if they get a victory in that game, 14 straight victories, you're beating your rivals, your closest rivals. It means that it's going to be very hard.
Okay, some reactions from the players. Let's read some tweets. Excited players, having 1 or 2 things to say. Let's just allow you to enjoy this one from
David Silva. He says, always fight until the end.
See?
That's what he did. I think I love what they're doing. 13 in a row. That's coming from Kevin De Bruyne. In fact, that's the engine room right there. That's the engine of this team. Once you take out this guy, it might just be difficult for them to win games. But then he's in. He's always in. He's always ready.
Because most times we've seen that Kevin De Bruyne loses form. He gets injured.
So Vincent
Silva, very important.
The captain here, he said, keep going. Yeah, they'll keep going. We'll see.
And I like what Guardiola did yesterday. He had going into the game, he had 3 players that could get suspended for the derby. Kompany, Fernandinho, and Sane. He played only Sane, because he didn't want Kompany and Fernandinho to get a yellow card and not be in the Manchester derby. He now brought them in later in the game when he was sure that nothing will happen. So all his players will be available for the Manchester derby. Why United will be without Pogba?
Why did he have to do that ceiling tackle? That silly tackle wasn't really necessary.
I've been on Twitter, I've been everywhere. I do not agree with. I don't know what everybody else is saying, but maybe I'm seeing something different. I don't think it was a red card. It was never a red card for me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because well, how can you? I don't see. In all my time of watching football, you're coming directly towards the player. Did you guys see the way Bellerin was positioned? Which defender is? I've never seen where a defender is trying to defend one-on-one and positions like that. And besides, Paul Pogba was actually in motion.
Yeah.
There was no way in the world Paul Pogba would have room. There was no way, Cecilia. If you're in motion, you're seeing it because you saw it in slow motion. There was no way he could have removed. He could have done anything. Because according to the pundits after the game in the live studio, they said something. They said Bellerin just killed Pogba. That was exactly what happened because it was a serious setup, and there was
he fell for
there was nothing.
I mean, you can jump. I've seen some players.
Have you played football?
Okay. All right, let's do this quickly. Let's get it out of the way. Across Europe, a lot of interesting matches were played. So let's quickly bring that to you and let's see. Juve travelled to Napoli. Got a result.
Fantastic results.
I'm surprised with that, but
Napoli's first defeat of the season. Juve stopped them from scoring. It was a fantastic result, and now it sets up next week's game against Inter very nicely because if Juve can also repeat that and beat Inter Milan, then they will go top of the table. So, good one for Juventus.
Yeah,
all right, so all the ones we've talked about earlier, Chelsea coming from a goal down, defeated Newcastle, and a lot of good results. Inter 5-0 victory. They're now on top of the Serie A.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. And it might just be for a week because they're playing Juventus next. Perisic scored a hat-trick, good one for them. They're playing really well this season. They've been playing really well. So if that game against Juventus will be very...
And in Spain, nobody seems to be able to capitalize.
Yeah, Barca had a 2-2 draw against Celta Vigo. Real Madrid, of course, it was always a potential banana skin against Atletico Bilbao, and they were not able to get the victory. So Valencia suffered their first loss of the season. So for Barca, it wasn't really a bad result per se because nobody took advantage.
Okay. But they score, at least they had goals to enjoy. 4.
All right, let's go to Germany quickly and see some of the results. Well, that's it. That's a lot of all these matches, interesting ones. Dortmund, I still can't explain what's happening to Dortmund. Bayern Munich, 3-1 victory over Hannover. Offenheim, 4-0 victory over Leipzig. Don't seem to understand what's happening to RB Leipzig as well. But your reaction, our man, his team lost. That's talking about Mainz, lost 1-3 to Augsburg. Okay, before China's response to that, we're going to break. When we'll come back, we'll do that. And still so much for you on Sports this morning.